One of the most empowering feelings in life comes from seeing the results of our own hard work. Few things boost our confidence more. After all, we've just proven to ourselves through effort, skill, and grit that we have exactly what success demands. Or do we? Could we be wrong? What if, no matter how good success feels, we can't actually claim as much credit as we think we deserve? In this video, I'm challenging the entire idea of meritocracy. It may be a disturbing video for some, as we do a speed run on dismantling the foundations of meritocracy while rethinking success. There is this general idea that where we are in life today is strongly influenced by the choices we've made in our past. In other words, our actions today determine who we become tomorrow and what we achieve. On the surface, that makes absolute sense. How could I even dare argue with something like that? But that is exactly what I'm about to do. I just want to make it abundantly clear that I'm not baiting you with hyperbolic language or using wordplay to sound like I have some special opinion or something. I'm literally having a go at the average person's sense of achievement and pride. Let's see if you can argue back and let me know why I'm wrong about any of the following arguments. I want you to consider someone like a genius programmer or a computer science wizard like Alan Turing. The guy cracked secret Nazi codes during World War II, inventing modern computing in the process, and even laid down foundational groundwork for artificial intelligence. For this example, let's just assume that he worked really hard, and his hard work led to all of these impressive achievements. My question for you is, do you think that if Alan was born in some tribe back when we were hunter-gatherers, the world or him would have any idea about his capacity to discover and develop computation-related technology? What did Alan himself do exactly to not be born in a horrible place during a terrible period in human history instead? If my point still didn't sink in, please consider a hypothetical genius who was born on the same day as Alan, but in some war-ridden African nation in a tribe that hadn't yet seen a steam engine, let alone electronics. Do you think, even if the genius was born smarter and had better work ethic than Alan, he would get the chance to show the world what he could develop? Obviously not. His nation would not have the infrastructure and resources or even knowledge of any of the prerequisites for that. But Britain did. And so Alan got to flex his genius while that imagined African genius died nameless. I hope this makes it obvious that the time and place a person occupies during their lifetime can put a ceiling to their achievement. And no, working harder isn't the answer to that. Which brings us to my next point. Let me share a quick thing you may not have any experience of witnessing. There are many places on Earth where people still break bricks with hammer into aggregate to be mixed with cement for construction. From sunrise to sundown, the poorest workers in such societies sit and hammer on in the scalding heat all day long. I have the first-hand experience of witnessing the worst form of this hardship on a few occasions. There are many pregnant mothers or new mothers who work these jobs. You will see many of them sitting and hammering bricks and rocks inside a dust cloud in the sun with their baby lashed onto them. Despite all that hard work, these women struggle to earn enough for survival for the day. I'm talking about the struggle to afford food and shelter. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never ever had to work that hard and under such miserable conditions. And even for the hours I did work, I got compensated in an hour more than what these women make in a day. I will swear by both whatever is holy and unholy that I've never worked as hard as these women. Even the average person from most developing nations do not have to endure what these mothers have to endure. They are obviously some of the most hardworking people on the planet. Now, if success was truly and necessarily tied to hard work, how do you explain the immensity of their struggle to just survive? Success can benefit from contributions from both nature and nurture. The nurture part of it is more so dominated by the external world and circumstances. I believe we have already covered that and demonstrated that external factors, such as the circumstances of one's birth, can oftentimes entirely dictate if a person will be successful or not. Which means that in this part of the video, we'll focus on nature's influence in determining victors. To help me out here, I have a question for you to ponder. Do we have the interests that we have and then act on them throughout life, or do we manually investigate and research things and then develop and pick what we are interested in? Put in a more simpler way, do we pick our interests, or are they mostly innate or outside of our direct control? To me, this is a very simple and straightforward question to answer. If I could make myself be interested in things, my life would have been completely different today, in a good way. In fact, I will argue that others are the same in this regard as well. We start with whatever biological, psychological, cultural, physical, temporal, yada yada biases we have and explore the world through those filters. Based on combinations of these filters a person experiences, certain things are just more appealing to some of us than others. It's not that I woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'll make myself like World War II history a great deal. I just felt and still feel strongly drawn to that world. Same is true for all of my other interests. There is something in me that resonates disproportionately well with certain things than others. That is what predicts the chances of my success more strongly in those fields than anything else. We have already demonstrated that the external influences are beyond our control. So the question that remains now is, what about my genetics do you think I created such that I can take credit for my innate inclinations? Even the physical hardware, aka brain power or IQ, needed to delve into certain subject matter is dictated by biological constraints. What about my biology do you think I can take credit for, such that I can truly claim to be responsible for my cognitive performance? This actually leads us straight to my fundamental objection to meritocracy and how, if left unquestioned, it can create an army of arrogant people mistaking their lack of empathy for the less fortunate as something rational. The proponents of meritocracy heavily relies on the presupposition that you can look at someone's success and judge if they have merit or not. Otherwise, how on earth do you even discern anything based on merit? You look at how successful one has been so far in life and give them a proportionately high merit score. On the surface of it, that is the most logical thing ever. It is only when you consider all the aforementioned insights and arguments relating to how much credit we can truly take for our success that you realize that it ain't that simple. In fact, not only that it is not that simple, ironically, it is exactly the type of unreason that a simpleton would fall for. I hope if you've reached this far into the video, you can't help but agree with my conclusions. The date, time, place, circumstances all seem to play a huge role in determining our success. I hope you recognize now that hard work can only reliably make you more successful relative to you specifically. It cannot be used to predict how much a society rewards one's hard work and therefore their success. We don't even get to pick what our mind pays attention to, let alone have it fixate on success on some arbitrary domain. I could wake up every morning and study physics or practice basketball. I'm neither becoming Einstein nor LeBron James. With all that said, there is some hope. There are some things we can take away from this topic to help improve the world and level the playing field a bit. For example, if you can identify ways in which you might have been privileged, as a token of gratitude, perhaps consider passing that on to someone else who needs it. There are many other ways to help others and fix this inequitable world. And one activity you can do right now to help someone else in their journey to success is to subscribe to this channel and support this voice of reason. You can like or share this video to help others find it and join this conversation. This has been the Scientalist. See you in the next video.